Hello, this is a video about microscopy. Okay, in this class, we use a light microscope to view our histology and cytology slides. A light microscope uses light in order to look at the specimens that you're looking at. A light microscope has two sets of lenses. There are ocular lenses by the eyes, that's why they're called ocular, and there are objective lenses by the object on the slide. That's why they're called objective lenses. The ocular lenses magnify things 10 times, always 10 times. The objective lenses, there are four of them, and they can magnify things 4 times, 10 times, 40 times, and 100 times. In this class, we do not use the 100 times magnification lens. It needs oil, and without oil, it scrapes on the slide. We don't use it at all, not at all. To figure out what your total magnification is when you're looking at the slide, you multiply 10 times whatever lens you've chosen. So if you look on the bottom here, we have the calculation. If we're using 10x and 4x, you get a 40 times magnification. If we're using 10x and 10x, you get 100 times magnification. If we're using 10x and 40x, we get a 400 times magnification. So we can magnify things 400 times in our class. That's pretty amazing. Microscope setup. So when you're carrying your microscope around, you should hold it by the arm, which has a little like slot that your hand fits in, and also by the base. You should not at all hold it by the part that's called the stage, seen in this picture. That part can break if you put a lot of weight on it. And the microscopes are fairly heavy. Now, the first 4 steps of microscope setup are, first of all, plug it in, turn it on. Next, put your ocular lenses at a comfortable width for your eyes. All right. This will make you see one round picture when you look through the ocular lenses, and it will be very comfortable for your eyes. Don't leave out this step, or you will be seeing a binocular view of your slide instead of a single round view of your slide. So push those ocular lenses either closer together or farther apart to match how far apart your eyes are. Okay, now you want to start with your 4x lens. So click it into place and always choose that first. It lets you see the big picture before you zoom in on any parts of the slide. And yeah, okay. Now, 4, raise the stage as high as it will go using the coarse focus knob. And this is your starting position. You have the 4x lens in place, and the stage is as high as it will go. And this starting position is the position that you want to use for each new slide. It's not something that you set and leave that way. You go back to it with each new slide. And also each time that you're having any kind of problem with seeing your tissue on your slide, you go back to this starting position. So that's the setup. You turn it on, you pay attention to the width of the ocular lenses, you click the 4x or scanning objective lens into place, and you raise the stage as high as it will go. Now using your microscope. So you select your slide and you find the tissue specimen on the slide with your naked eye before placing it on the stage. This will help, Kay, to center it over the light, over the hole in the stage and over the light, so that you have some chance of seeing it immediately when you look through the ocular lenses. The slide fits snugly onto the stage between slide holders. So just like push it as far as it will go against the back of the slide holder, and then fit it in between the right and the left slide holder. Make sure your tissue specimen is directly over the hole in the stage in the light. And now you can move the stage and the attached slide back and forth towards you and away from you and side to side using the stage or slide control knobs, which are beneath the stage. And here they're, it's shown where they are. So they're on the right side and they're extending downwards from underneath the stage. All right, you can use the brightness control knob to adjust the light. And when you use higher objective lenses, you need more light. So by the time you're at the 40x objective lens, you're probably turning that brightness control knob as far as it will go. All right, using the 4x lens, use the coarse focus knob to focus on the tissue specimen. Once you have it in focus as well as you can, then use the fine focus knob. And now, when you're changing to the 10x and the 40x lenses, focus using just the fine focus knob. You do not touch the coarse focus knob anymore. This is a great feature of these microscopes. Once you have them focused at 4x, they're going to be focused almost completely at 10x and 40x. You just need to fine tune with the fine focus knob. And when microscopes are like that, they're called parfocal. So we're lucky we have nice microscopes that are parfocal. All right, make sure you use both ocular lenses when you're looking at your specimen. If there's any problem where the field of vision is showing you two circles next to each other instead of one round circle, you have to adjust your ocular lenses. As you adjust them, it will go from showing you two round circles to closer and then one round circle. Perfect. Okay. Now, here's a picture of Pope Benedict. He's using the microscope incorrectly. He is only using one ocular lens. So that is incorrect. Okay. If you wear eyeglasses, you may remove your eyeglasses when using the microscope. The microscope will allow you, as you're focusing it, to correct the problem that you have with your vision. So that's great. And this is more on microscope use with eyeglasses. If you have different vision in one eye, the microscope can be adjusted for each eye individually by adjusting the ocular lens diopter adjustment rings. And I won't read the rest of this for you, but if you have different vision in each eye, like especially if it's quite notably different, you can read through these instructions and fix the ocular lens diopter adjustment rings. All right, storing the microscope. Return all the slides to the proper trays. Really do your best to sort them correctly, all right, so that other classes won't have the slides all mixed up. Now, you may notice when you come in that another class has mixed up the slides, and it's, just adds a little bit of trouble to your class. So, try to be a good citizen and put all the slides in the proper trays. Okay, wipe down the ocular and objective lenses with lens paper. Click the 4x lens into place. Put the stage as low as it will go. Low, not high, okay? And this is the storage position. Wrap the cord up on the back. Carry the microscope back to its cabinet, holding the arm in the base, and then place it in the cabinet with the arm facing out. So not the lenses, but the arm facing out. And avoid hitting the ocular lenses as you put it away. Okay, troubleshooting. These are things that commonly go wrong. So perhaps your image quality is poor. That could mean that the slide was set up incorrectly. So start with your 4x objective lens and stage at the highest point. Use the coarse and fine focus knobs to focus on the specimen. And make sure the 100x lens is not in place. We don't use that. And this is often the only problem. You need to go back to the beginning with the 4x objective lens and stage at the highest point, and from there you are okay. The slide or the lenses may be dirty, so clean the slide and the lenses with lens paper and lens cleaner. If you may notice that helps a little bit. Perhaps the image is dim. That usually means that the brightness is too low. So you want to use the brightness control knob to increase the amount of light going through the specimen. This is especially a problem at higher magnifications. Again, at the 400 times magnification using your 40x objective lens, you're pretty much going to have your brightness control knob turned all the way up. Perhaps the field of view is small. That means that the field diaphragm is closed. So you have to open the field diaphragm until there is a circular field of view. So where is the field diaphragm? It is on the bottom, on the base of the microscope, and you can easily twist the knob around the field diaphragm and go from having a closed field diaphragm to having an open one. And this is terrific. So if you ever notice that you have a tiny little field of view, make sure to fix that. Okay, the field of view is off center. This means that the condenser is off center. Where is the condenser? The condenser is under the stage, and it has two condenser adjustment screws on the right at about 4 o'clock and the left at about 8 o'clock. And you can use these screws to slightly shift the position of the condenser right to left a little bit. And by doing that, you will be able to go from having an off-center view to having a centered view. Now notice in this picture here, the field of view is not only off-center, but also the field diaphragm is closed. So you would center it, and then you can open the field diaphragm for a full, circular field of view. There is a little screw behind the condenser adjustment screws that is at about 3 o'clock on the right. Don't use that screw. That's actually holding the condenser in place, and you don't want to completely undo the position of the condenser. So that's it for troubleshooting. Anything beyond that, ask your professor. All right. So that's it.